Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Danny GG, back with another Halo Infinite video. So if you've been on the channel for the past few weeks, you've seen I've done a few collaborations with another Halo YouTuber, Arrrash. So we actually had a really long and great conversation about Halo Infinite and a few topics that I'd like to cover, but instead of putting it all into one huge 20-30 minute long video, I'm deciding to cut it up and provide a few of those snips here for you guys. So the following clip is some of our conversation regarding Halo Infinite's free-to-play multiplayer model and the pros and cons of that compared to a traditional $60 game. So hope you enjoy. Thanks. But now, so we kind of had like the classic $60 in quotes, game era, and then we kind of had that blurry line with now you're $60 with microtransactions. Now we're in this free to play, but now we have Game Pass on top of that, which is really shaking things up. So a recent example, we've had Outriders, which I know it's not like an arena multiplayer kind of thing, but it actually kind of reminds me of a lot like what Halo Infinite campaign could be, because it's kind of like a semi-open world, whatever story thing. And this is a game that me and my friends would have never thought about playing, really. I mean, it looks interesting, but you see, $60, like, no thanks. But with Game Pass, it essentially makes this $60 game a free-to-play multiplayer game, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. So I think Game Pass is kind of the thing that is shaking up this model, and hopefully I would think, makes free-to-play games kind of step it up, or completely eliminates microtransactions from the true content complete $60 games, like you said. But you bring up a great point with the DLC. Like, some of the cons of the $60 style are $60 is never the end. Like you said, Halo 2, Halo 3, you have your DLC, divides the player base, and once your player base is divided, your matchmaking dies, and the multiplayer game is dead without its player base. So tricky, and I think Halo Infinite is evolving in the right direction, because 343, Microsoft, they want Halo Infinite to be the biggest Halo game and possibly one of the biggest multiplayer games ever, at least like top 10 or something. So by making a free-to-play multiplayer, that's the way to do it, and that's how Fortnite did it.
Yeah, for sure. I think you made some really good points. Your point right there at the end, I think without a doubt, day one or week one or month one, whatever metric you want to pull, Halo Infinite will be the most players that Halo has ever seen. Yep. Whether or not those players stick around, that's totally dependent on the game. But with it being free to play, it's going to be on the multiplayer front. It's going to be the most players that Halo has ever seen. It's going to way surpass the numbers of Halo 3, 4, 5, whichever game you want to reference. It's gonna probably like double to triple those on launch, especially with the marketing and everything, and it being on PC on release. So that's gonna be huge. Like you mentioned, and this is maybe less relevant to Halo specifically, although we still don't know all the details to the campaign, but Game Pass has really shaken up the flip side of it, right? It's almost turned every game on Game Pass into like a pseudo free-to-play game, because you pay your subscription and now you get all these games. I think that Game Pass is actually perfect for your more content complete games, less of your live service games, more of your single player games, your whatever single player game you want to play, or your Outriders where it's like more co-op-y, and it has, I think, like a set kind of end to it, doesn't it? Or is it pretty open-ended?
So. I think there's a linear story, and there's just a bunch of side missions and loot stuff along the way.
Yeah. So, and I think the Game Pass model works perfectly for those, because I think those games are perfect to still have a price tag. I think that single player or like story driven or like experience, I don't know if experience driven is the right word, but kind of games with more of an endpoint, I think those are still perfect to have price tags or be a part of Game Pass, right? But I think we're getting to the point in gaming where if you have a straight up like multiplayer PvP game, you probably want it to just be free to play. And so it kind of just is what it is.